Hello everyone, my name is Alessandro and this is the Temple of Surf, the podcast. We'll give you full access to the best surfers, skaters, shapers, surfboard collectors, shop owners in the world. Discover with me their stories, the greatest successes, amazing behind the scenes and much more. Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th episode of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today with us legendary French surf photographer Sylvain Cazenave. Let's discover more about his passion for photography, surf, future projects and much more. Hi Sylvain and welcome to the show. Where are you today?
Today I'm in Biarritz. I'm in my office because today is high tide. So there is no wave to go surf, so I'm in my office.
Okay, it's not good for the surf, but it's good because at least you are with us today. How is the situation in Biarritz after the coronavirus confinement? Is still everything is closed? What's going on?
Yeah, no, it's very slow because it's mid-May. And so mid-May, we don't have so many tourists. And now being in Europe, nobody can go out away in France more than 100 kilometers. Okay. So people cannot come from Paris. Plus, all the airports are closed, so people cannot come from Dubai or Italy or Germany or England, So it's only people from Biarritz and around Biarritz who are around here. But it's okay, it's good, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Less traffic around, Maybe it's not that good for the economy, but let's hope that by end of June, situation will change.
Yeah. Situation is better every day in Europe. And now people, we just started to go not on the beach, but to go surf on Saturday. So we will be okay, within a few weeks. We will be good because they will open up the Biarritz airport on June the 8th. And then they will be opening in Europe on June 14th. So let's hope not too much disease goes around, so that slowly it stops a lot, so that people don't bring the disease everywhere in Europe.
Yeah, let's hope that. So today we're going to talk about surfing, surf photography, of course. But the first question that I have for you today is, what is the most important thing, in your opinion, in surfing?
Just to catch a wave. Go catch a wave.
As simple as that. Very pragmatic, isn't it?
Yeah, because I took my first wave in May 1968, and that changed my life. So I caught a wave, and it changed my life totally. I still remember that wave. If I talk to you, I see you, I don't need to close my eyes. I still remember this feeling of gliding, on this longboard, and the speed and being on a wave, on a movement, unbelievable, So surfing is catching a wave.
Yeah, I agree with you. Simple, but very efficient, right? Do you remember the first board that you ever bought?
Yeah, I bought that board, in fact. It was a longboard. It was about 9'8", very heavy, because 1968, everything was going very slow, especially in France. People were coming from America. Some still had some longboards. Some still already were going into shorter board. But that time was going crazy. There was no rule, so they didn't know what board to ride. Nobody knew anything, especially in France. So top professional guys, they were not professional, but the top guys, yeah. Nat Young, Mickey Dora, and all those guys, they knew what they were doing. But us in France, no.
So basically very heavy board, I guess, right? Very difficult to...
No, very heavy is good because you paddle 3 times and it gives you a glide already. If you have a very light surfboard, you have to paddle. If you stop paddling, the board stops. Yeah. So a heavy board, you can even stand up if you have no speed. You put the board in the water, you stand up on it, you stand up. If you have a light board, there's no way you can stand up, unless you're a champion.
No, of course. I was referring more about the weight of the board itself. Like in my collection, I collect surfboard, and in my collection I have a Greg Knoll surfboard from the 60, and it's so heavy. It's super heavy. So I imagine like you need to be like a big guy, like Greg Knoll, and a lot of muscle to carry that board all the time. It's kind of tiring, at least outside the ocean,
That was part of the game.
You still have that board?
No, because I was young. I was 14 years old. I didn't have much money. That board, my mom gave him some money. I had some, and the movement was going into shortboard. So as soon as I saw, I see my next board was maybe around 7.5, 7.6. Then I was looking for the right board. So I was buying, selling, buying.
Yeah, it's a kind of chase for the perfect surfboard. Yeah, it never stops.
It never stops.
Never. But if you buy and sell them, at least you don't get divorced. But if you buy and accumulate like me, the risk of divorce is very high. Or me sleeping inside the house.
Yeah, well, in my garage, there's about 8 or 9 boards. Longboard, all longboards.
Yeah, me too. I have all longboard. How did you become a photographer, and more in the specific, a surf photographer?
Well, I became a photographer because I always liked photography, I always liked the light. And when I was very young, my father bought a subscription to Life magazine, which was, in the 60s, was the photographic magazine, Life magazine. So I was used to see very nice quality pictures. And then I liked Surfer magazine, was very high quality too. My eye was really into something nice. I was already, without knowing, I was involved in the light. And then I met J.F. Divan in 1969, 70, a long time ago. No, sorry, 79. I met him in 79. And he told me, well, you should be a photographer, because I was shooting with a small camera. I was already shooting something for fun. And, well, I went to Hawaii in 1980 and shot some very good pictures. I was very lucky. There was some good swells, Waimea Bay Pipeline. I came back and I got some good publications. And I didn't succeed right away. I had to have many jobs to pay for my photography, but slowly I came up the ladder to be a photographer.
When was the defining moment of your career? Like the moment that you're saying, I'm doing this as a professional?
Well, it's when I managed to make enough money for my pictures, because before I was, should I go on or should I stop? Because when I shot pictures in the early 80s, there was no magazine, no industry, especially in France. And I was a windsurfer too, and I sold some windsurfing pictures. And then the magazine sold a lot, and then I worked with Quicksilver and Rip Curl right away, and that's when I became a photographer. You have the reality of making a life.
Totally different than the world of photography today, right? At that time, magazines were selling quite a lot, and people were really into magazine.
Yeah, Wind magazine was selling more than 100,000 issues a month.
Wow, that today is not even conceivable, right?
Maybe Surf Station sells 6,000. I don't even think that much. Surfer magazine went down from being monthly, and now they only have 3 or 4 issues a year. They even wanted to stop Surfer magazine, the Bible, for Bible is dying slowly.
And as this, the profession of surf photographer, it changed completely, right? So you go from magazine to more maybe videos or projects with the surfer, right?
Yeah, well, I opened a gallery. I opened a shop, So this is different from me because I don't want to shoot video. I'm not a video surfographer. I'm a photographer. And now I've been shooting since 1980. So I've been shooting for a long, long time. I've shot so many. I have 40,000 slides in my bag over here. So now my point of view is more like from an artistic point of view.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Among all these films and photographs that you have, is there a photo that has a very special meaning for you? Either is the best photo that you ever shot, or the one that you really care about?
There's a few, of course, because, since 1980, you see me, it's 40 years, of working. But I have to say that being French, working with Laird Hamilton, I have a few inside shots that nobody has, because I have a very good relation with Laird. I introduced Laird Hamilton to a French company called Oxbow.
Yeah.
And that's when Laird was testing towing surfing. So I was in a helicopter. I was flying in the ocean like 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles out. And I have some insane shots of all the history of towing, plus some artistic shots that are the one that strike me most,
Amazing. I would like to see those, How can people see those pictures? Now,
well, send me your email address. I will send you my PDF brochure. And next time you come to Biarritz, come to my gallery, and I will show you lots of stuff.
Of course. And so we invite all the people that are listening as well to come to Biarritz, right? Rugambetta number 8. So 8 Rugambetta.
And, each picture published in my gallery has a story, because, I shot so much that I have stories. I traveled the world for 40 years. So this picture, I remember what day, how, why, every picture has a story.
Fantastic. And what was the craziest story that you carry in your memory, or the most fun?
Well, it's different. There's some scary stories, some wild ones. The wild ones we cannot say yet, because I have family and my friends have family too during the trip. As you say, what happens on the boat stays on the boat.
Okay. I see. Too dangerous.
I will write the book, and the book will be published when I die, not before. That will be another book. Okay. No, I have some incredible stories, of how we did some trip and we discovered some waves, and the guys rode the wave, that's, either in Australia or in the Mentawai or in Africa, some trips, and, things happen for a reason, you have to go and go and go, and process it,
Will you publish any book, surf photography book soon? Is there one of your plans?
Yeah, right now I'm trying to gather some stuff. That's why you have some stories on my Instagram, I'm starting to explain pictures or some part of, and I'm gathering all this. I have, 40 years, 40 years means a few books.
Yeah, you can go volume 1, volume 2, and divide them by years. That will be interesting, right?
Exactly. Because when I was working all those years, I was traveling all the time. I had no time for me, really. But that was my life, and I'm very happy, and I was very happy, Yeah. I was meeting somebody, and we said, let's go there, and we would just go somewhere, come back, empty the suitcase, and go somewhere else. And now I'm relaxing, I'm 66, so I'm just relaxing and taking more time for me.
Yeah, it's different, right? Every era of our life has a different kind of fun, right?
Exactly.
More physical when you're young, and then when you are older, it's more psychological, right? So
yeah, but I still want to surf some waves. that I can still surf at 66 that I won't be able to surf when I'm 70 years old or 75. So I still want to ride Jeffreys Bay and a few other waves. I was supposed to go to Jeffreys Bay in June, but it will be too crazy. So not this year. But that's why I'm slowing down and I spend more time surfing now. Back to surf.
Okay, that's good. That's nice. What was the greatest achievement of your career, or the one that you are the most proud of?
Well, become a surf photographer, because I dedicated my life to the ocean. I need the ocean. I live above the ocean in Biarritz. I need the ocean. Ocean is part of me, and become a surf photographer. I'm the first who managed to do a living as a photographer, full-time photographer. And right now, most of the guys I know in France, they are not full-time surfing photographers,
Yeah.
And I'm still a surfing photographer.
I guess it happens to all the photographers in general, even music photographers. Yeah, people that really had a career before. Once I was talking with a music photographer that told me the only way to sustain as a photographer today is to shoot wedding, and I hate to do that. Apparently, wedding.
Well, my friends, Brian, some of my friends in Hawaii and California had to go do that. They've been doing it for a long time. But I promised myself I would never do it. And I was lucky I never had to do it. And now with the gallery, I've had it for 4 years, and people know where I am. They come see me. Maybe with the crisis it will be a bit tough, but yeah, I won't have to do wedding photography. Yeah. Wedding photography can be very, very creative. It's not something you can laugh about, really, but that's not me. I want it to be surfing or to be in the ocean.
Yeah. Now, of course, with all the respect of a wedding photographer, actually, it's scary because, if something happens to the memory card, even if you have a double memory card in the machine, you don't want to face the bride, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble.
It's better to go for like a shark session of surf rather than face an angry bride that you lost the picture. Yeah.
Exactly. That happened to me. That happened to me with film. I shot 1 year. I was shooting on Maui, windsurfing for a Swiss company. And the rider was only there for 5 or 6 days. And there was no wind. The weather was very bad, rainy, no wind. And the client was Sylvain. So when are you shooting? I said, there's no wind. We cannot shoot. And they had involved lots of money, And so the last day, the guy was supposed to leave at night. But in the afternoon, it was supposed to be a window of 2 to 3 hours of wind, Not very good, but wind and okay light. So I told the client, I said, well, we can solve the problem. You are on the beach. It was for windsurfboard. You get the boards ready. The rider will switch board, and I will be shooting from a helicopter. From a helicopter, I can move around, right, left, above, everything. And we can shoot very fast, And the guy said, okay. So I flew in a helicopter for 3 hours, shot like crazy, brought the film to the lab on Maui. And the guy at the lab, he fucked up. All the film went down and he could never get them back up. All fucked up.
Oh my God.
It was a big nightmare. A big, big, big nightmare. Of course, I lost the job. I lost the client. That's terrible.
That's the nightmare of all the photographers that don't want to have. Now there is no more film. There are memory cards, but I guess they're as dangerous.
Exactly.
When you have error message, it's like, oh my God.
That happened at the beginning, When we first started, we were all talking together, all the photographers, do this, do that, be careful, save right away. Some were sailing on the beach, it was crazy.
What is the equipment that you use for surf photography? What is your favorite one?
I've always been with Nikon, except for 1976. I bought a Minolta, but I've always been with Nikon. Now I'm with the latest Nikon 850, I think. And it's a very good camera. So I have all the lenses from 10 millimeter to 15 to 16 to 20 to blah, blah, blah. I have like 20 lenses, but all Nikon.
What is your favorite lens for surfing photography?
I love the 600. 600 is so good. So good. F4, big, very heavy, very big. And from the boat, I like the zoom, 80 to 200. Now it became now 70 to 210, I think. But this kind of lens, I like the big opening, at 2.8. Very, very good lenses.
I agree with you. So we're going to finish our interview with a short Q&A session. So please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind, okay?
Okay.
Cool. The best surfboard that you ever ridden?
Donald Takayama surfboard. It's a kind of surfboard you can bring a cigarette and a drink and paddle and catch a wave and drink and smoke, and the board does everything for you.
Yeah, I like Donald Takayama, especially Donald Takayama model, square tail, I really like, and the Scorpion as well. I like it more around.
I had a few of them because I knew Donald very well, so he shipped me a few of those that he would bring to France.
Ah, that's nice. You still have those?
Oh yeah, because he was coming for the Biarritz Surf Festival in 94, 5, 6, 7, and I would order him surfboards.
Legendary. The best shaper of all time, is it Donald Takayama as well, or is somebody else?
No, for all time, I would say Mike Diffenderfer. Mike Diffenderfer and Dick Brewer are the all-time surf shapers. Both of them, they are engineers, and they were able to shape anything, and they revolutionized the shape in their time, and they were incredible. I saw them work. It's a pleasure of the eye. And the surfboards, of course, are magic.
I was contacting Dick Brewer for the show, and maybe he's gonna listen. And the reply that I got is that he's so busy surfing. Sorry, he's so busy shaping. And I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's fantastic. Personal question: your favorite song?
My favorite song, I just listened to it. It was one of Jefferson Airplane. Long time ago. Long.
Still.
I won't sing it. I won't sing it for you because I'm singing very bad and it's beautiful and sunny. I don't want it rainy today.
Leave it like that, Otherwise, you'll have a lot of people come into the gallery and say, what you did? It was stunning for once. Your favorite surf spot?
My favorite was just by my house, Côte de Basque.
Yeah.
But now it's changed, I grew up here. I surf there every day. I knew every corner, everything. But now it's just almost too many people.
Yeah, I agree with you. Too many.
But that's still my favorite because my surfboard is at the surf club at the beach. I live here. I look at my window. I wait. I see, the tide will be perfect in 10 minutes. I walk down. Boop, boop. I surf 1 or 2 hours. Shower. Come back home. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Plus, on the way back, there are a lot of boulangeries, so it's good to stop by and maybe to have a croissant or a tart.
Oh yeah, I love the boulangerie and patisserie. Oh yes.
Me too, because every time I go to La Côte Basque surfing, on the way back, I'm getting more, let's say, fat than when I left because I always go home with a piece of cake or something.
Good.
I don't know if it's good, but best surfer of all time.
Best surfer of all time. I would say Laird Hamilton because from what he did for surfing. I knew him. He was a surfer, regular surfer. Then he wanted to ride the biggest wave ever. So he took up windsurfing. And with Dick Brewer, he was sailing out giant waves on Kauai. in the late 80s already. And then he did the towing, and for him, it's just, he has no fear. The bigger, the smaller. If it's small, he goes on the longboard, on a 12-foot board. Then he was bored, and he created a stand-up paddle. And then now with a foil. For me, it's just everything. And he can take a bodyboard. For me, surfing is about riding the wave. So I take it like the people from Makaha, from Hawaii. Riding is not only surfing on the surfboard. Surfing is riding a wave in the ocean. So you can ride on a foil miles out in the ocean when the wave is not breaking yet. Like you see the pictures and videos of Kaileni, and those guys. So for me, Laird is a top guy.
Fantastic. And the last question is a little bit unusual. So we want to know your best relationship advice.
Well, my best advice, I always told the girls I was meeting, I have one mistress. My mistress is the ocean.
Yes.
And if a girl goes, oh, the ocean, I will make him forget the ocean. No way. The ocean is part of my life. This is part of me. So, because of the ocean, especially here, you have to deal with the tides and the right moment, the right wind. So sometimes you have to tell your wife, she says, oh, dinner 8 p.m. You say, nah, can't do, because the surf will be good from 6 to 9. And so I'll come back at 9. They will not. She says, no, dinner 8 p.m. No, I can't. Surf. The ocean decides. The ocean decides. That's why I told every girl, I never lied, I always told the girls, I have a mistress, and the mistress is my ocean. And the interesting part, it would not have been very nice, but it was me to film their face, because they were scared and relieved at the same time,
That actually was a cool idea for a surf book, right? You just say it, and then you take a picture, and then you just collect all the pictures.
I have my wife. I have my wife.
Yes, true. It's part of those volume that you will leave it like published.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yes. Actually, it's the philosophy of Patagonia, let my people go to surf, right? When there is surf, you need to go. There is a business meeting or nothing, you need to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a friend of mine. They call it board meeting. Board.
Yes, that's a perfect one. Cool.
Exactly.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Sylvain, for being on the show with us today. I look forward to talk to you very soon and to see you in Biarritz.
When you come back, stop by. Let me know. Just send me a text or an email, because if the surf is good, I may be in the ocean, and there will be either my wife or a girl who will help us, But
Sure.
It will be a pleasure.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!